Your Excellency, President Andrzej Duda, honorable ministers, ambassadors, distinguished officials, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, I'm honored to receive and welcome Your Excellency to Nairobi and to Kenya, and to wish you a wonderful stay in magical Kenya. You will find Kenya a very interesting place to visit, and be prepared for what you will see. Kenya and Poland share a long-standing relations dating back to 1963, and your visit here, Mr. President, today is an opportunity for us to leverage on that friendship to build a stronger, deeper relations between our two countries. In fact, allow me to state that Poland was one of the first countries at our independence to recognize the independence of Kenya. And our two countries are celebrating 60 decades of diplomatic relations, making this visit very timely. I express gratitude to you, Mr. President, for the goodwill and you taking time out of your schedule to build this relationship between Kenya and Poland. Poland is a valued partner of Kenya with common values and shared ambition and aspirations guiding our present and future relationship. We are united in our quest to enhance collaboration in trade and economic affairs, agriculture and food security, environment and climate action, as well as our individual and collective contribution to multilateralism. The two MOUs, Mr. President, we have signed here bears testimony to our commitment to this collaboration. We've had extensive discussions on the imperative to enhance trade and investment between the two countries. Seizing the presence of a high-powered business delegation accompanying you, Mr. President, I invite them to invest in the numerous opportunities that Kenya has to offer. I also encourage them to leverage Kenya's strategic geographical advantage, with Nairobi serving as the hub and gateway for their regional and continental investments. As a technology powerhouse, Kenya offers unrivaled opportunities. President Duda and I have just witnessed the signing of two frameworks for cooperation, further solidifying our already existing friendly relations. The MOU on agricultural cooperation and MOU on tax solidarity program. These MOUs will cement our aspirations to promote bilateral partnerships in their respective sectors and open up new avenues for collaboration between the two countries and peoples. Several other MOUs are in the pipeline, and we are committed to ensuring their successful implementation. We have discussed widely on the agricultural sector, how we can leverage on the expertise that exists in dam construction, water storage, and other water technologies between our two countries, realizing that Kenya being 85% arid and semi-arid, the requirement for water storage, water technologies use, and also dam construction for water harvesting is an important component of our development program. And therefore, Mr. President, I want to thank you for the offer you have made to work with us in that space of water, water being a very important component of my administration's plan on how to get agriculture away from rain-fed and more towards irrigation. I also want to thank you, Mr. President, for the consideration that Poland has already made, especially in the area of dairy. We already have 350 milk cooling plants around Kenya, courtesy of a program between our two countries. And I am looking forward to the speedy conclusion of the other 650 milk coolers that will help expand our dairy industry, save on the post-harvest losses because of inavailability of cold room and cold chain facilities. And hopefully, Mr. President, when we finally conclude on this, we will see a much more robust dairy sector in Kenya, because it is our intention to increase our milk production from 5 billion liters to 10 billion liters in the next 5 years. Later this afternoon, President Duda and I will participate in the Kenya-Poland Business and Economic Forum. We anticipate witnessing the endorsement of various instruments of collaboration between Ken Invest and the Polish Investment and Trade Agency, as well as between our respective National Chamber of Commerce. We shall also witness the showcasing of Polish technology on the use of virtual reality to support smart welding operations critical in industrial development, as well as the deployment of drone technology to monitor our vast wildlife conservation parks. I am confident that this business-to-business meeting will result in higher levels of foreign direct investment from Polish companies into various sectors of our economy, working in collaboration with members of our private sector. On environment and climate change, we discussed our shared concern about the existential threat the globe faces and emphasized the need for concerted efforts to mitigate climate change. I requested President Duda to consider supporting the call to action by world leaders through the Nairobi Declaration, the outcome document of the Africa Climate Summit held in September last year. Kenya and Poland have agreed to work together to increase joint efforts to the decarbonization agenda in line with the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity, and give priority to green growth. We have also committed to advocating for a more reformed and inclusive global climate financing. I have informed my good brother, President Duda, of our capacities in green energy. I have informed him that 93% of our grid is green, and we have huge potential. And Polish companies are invited to invest in their manufacturing capacities in Kenya using our green energy. It will not only help us to unlock the huge potential of green energy in our country, it will also give Polish companies an opportunity to use clean energy for industrialization and help decarbonize Polish economy. President Duda and I have agreed to collaborate in the agriculture and food security sector to bridge the gap in demand for wheat and grain products in Kenya. Our country serves as the gateway to the East African community market and boasts the largest seaport in the region. Consequently, I invite Poland to consider Mombasa and Lamu ports as possible logistical hubs for exporting products, including grains, to the region and beyond. I urge President Duda to partner with us through public-private and government-to-government partnerships to explore the vast market in the agricultural sector, particularly in post-harvest value addition, aiming to conclusively address food security. On labor mobility, we discussed the possibility of developing a labor mobility framework to expand job opportunities available for our highly skilled young labor force while narrowing labor deficit in Poland. This is an area that a win-win outcome is a reality. We have abundant, highly skilled professional labor, and Poland is a labor deficit country, and therefore we can establish a win-win framework. We look forward to fast-tracking this so that we can mutually benefit from this relationship. On the multilateral front, I sought President Duda's support for Kenya's global agenda on climate action, biodiversity protection, and the need to accelerate green growth. We agreed to collaborate within the Economic and Social Council, of which Poland is a member, to address the global dialogue in financing for development, promote inclusivity and equality, and team up to achieve sustainable development goals. I also sought Poland's support in championing a fair and just multilateral system with a more inclusive global financing architecture. I take this opportunity once more to thank His Excellency President Andrzej Duda for the fruitful engagement and measurable outcomes achieved today. I reaffirm Kenya's commitment to deepening and broadening our relations with Poland and look forward to many more engagements in the near future. Your Excellency, allow me to say one more thing, that we have the only UN headquarters in the Global South here in Nairobi, hosting both the United Nations office in Nairobi, the UN Habitat Office, and also UNEP. And we are asking for your partnership in supporting the Secretary General's request for the modernization of facilities in Nairobi so that they can be at the same level as the other offices in New York, Geneva, and elsewhere. Mr. President, again, on behalf of the people and government of Kenya, welcome to Nairobi, and it's been a pleasure hosting you. Karibu, Mr. President.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, honorable ministers, ambassadors, esteemed gathered guests. First, let me express my warm gratitude to Mr. President for inviting here to Kenya, to Nairobi, for his invitation to pay this historic visit. This is the first visit by the President of Poland to Kenya after 61 years since the establishment of diplomatic relations between our countries. Hence, this is a crucially important moment, and to me personally, it is a huge honor. Once again, Mr. President, I would like to say thank you on my behalf, on behalf of my wife and all the members of the Polish delegation. But I am happy, Mr. President, also because this is not just a visit of courtesy. This is a visit which brings with it a big potential of economic cooperation for the future. I firmly believe in this for both our countries. We talked with Mr. President today. We had the tete-a-tete meeting, and then we had a bilateral meeting with our delegations. During those meetings, we discussed our economic relations. We discussed the future directions of developing these relations and the perspectives which exist in this respect between our two countries. So let me stress